Infrastructural development plays a pivotal role in attracting investors to any country. As we all know, robust infrastructure reduces delivery costs, enhances the mobility of people and goods, eliminates productivity barriers, and boosts competitiveness. With the right infrastructure, a capable workforce, and political stability, businesses are more likely to thrive, driving economic growth. Indonesia, the largest economy in Southeast Asia, has placed a major emphasis on infrastructure to strengthen its connectivity, support sustained economic growth, enhance the quality of life for its citizens, and draw in global investors. Today, we will explore some of the most significant projects shaping Indonesia's landscape, underscoring the government's dedication to modernizing transportation, energy, and urban development. From expanding Jakarta's mass transit systems to building high-speed railways and investing in renewable energy, these initiatives showcase Indonesia's strategic vision to uplift both urban and rural economies. These efforts highlight the country's ambition to not only bolster economic resilience, but also enhance its global standing through visionary infrastructure investments. Let's get into it. Number 1. Mass Rapid Transit Jakarta. The Mass Rapid Transit in Jakarta is a $1.7 billion project aimed at providing public transport solution to ease the traffic congestion in Jakarta. Jakarta's subway was inaugurated in 2019 as part of Jakarta's efforts to ease traffic congestion. Every day, more than 2.5 million commuters travel in and out of central Jakarta. Most trips originate in Jabodetabek or Greater Jakarta. The first phase of the project was funded through a soft loan of $1.2 billion from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, with a 30 years tenure and 0.25% interest per annum. The loan was signed in 2006 for engineering services to prepare the construction phase. Phase 2 was funded through a similar loan scheme with a 40 years tenure, 10 years grace period. The first stage of Phase 2 funding, 9.4 trillion Indonesian rupiahs, approximately $610 million, incurred 0.1% interest per annum. Phase 2, A funding, 25 trillion Indonesian rupiahs, approximately $1.62 billion, to cover a portion of Phase 1 excess expenditure, 2.5 trillion Indonesian rupiahs. In August 2022, it was announced that the cost required for Phase 2A has been adjusted to $1.7 billion, up from $1.46 billion. The challenging soil conditions were cited as the reason for the increase. Phase 3 is to be funded by a Japanese investor. At the beginning of 2023, it was announced that cost required for Phase 3 is $10.6 billion. Phase 4 is to be funded by a South Korean consortium led by Korea Overseas Infrastructure and Urban Development Corporation, with estimates cost $1.9 billion. In November 2022, the Indonesian government signed 3 agreements with international governments to develop the planned extensions on the Jakarta Mass Rapid Transit (MRT) line. These include a Memorandum of Cooperation (MOC) signed with the Government of Japan for work on the line's east-west corridor. The 87-kilometer-long east-west corridor is expected to be key in reducing congestion in Jakarta. Work will be carried out in 2 phases and will be funded by JICA. A letter of intent has also been signed with the UK government for upcoming works on the MRT line, while a MOU was signed with the government of South Korea for works on the Phase 4 corridor, covering the section between Fatmawati and Taman Mini, Indonesia, Indah. Jakarta MRT Phase 4 will add 12 kilometers to the urban rail network and will be integrated with the city's existing LRT Jabodetabek and KCI commuter line. Construction on this phase commenced in 2023. Once operational, around 124,000 passengers are expected to use the corridor daily. Moving on to number 2, we have Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail, $7.8 billion. Indonesia plans to launch Southeast Asia's first HSR, which connects Jakarta and Bandung, the heavily populated capital of West Java province. This line will cut travel time between two cities from the current 3 hours to about 40 minutes, and is part of a planned 750-kilometer line that would cut across 4 provinces on the main island of Java and end in the country's second-largest city of Surabaya in East Java. In December 2022, the Director General of Railways of the Ministry of Transportation stated that progress in construction of the Jakarta-Bandung Fast Train KCJB had reached 91.7%. 1. The rail deal was signed in October 2015 after Indonesia selected China over Japan in competitive bidding process, where China's special-purpose JV ownership vehicle assumed the liabilities debt, 75% of the financing, while the Japanese offer put the liabilities debt on the Indonesia country balance sheet. The rail line construction that began in 2016 was originally expected to start operating in 2019, but was delayed until June 2023 due to disputes that involved land purchases and environmental issues. In 2021, Indonesia announced it will go ahead with plans to extend construction of the Chinese-backed Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway to Surabaya, despite Japan refusing to join the enlarged project. The government has offered China an opportunity to take part in extending the rail line to Indonesia's second-largest city, and is open to other countries investing in this. Tokyo had rejected Jakarta's invitation for a consortium of Japanese investors to sign on for the extended project, saying it was focused on its existing medium-speed rail project connecting the Indonesian capital to Surabaya. They want to focus on the North Line first. The Japan-backed rail project traverses the north side of Java, Indonesia's most densely populated and built-up island. In his December 2022 conference, Panjaitan said that the cost overrun had been addressed, while adding that the costs burgeoned due to technical issues in the form of soil damage. Our cost overrun has been completed. Actually, a lot of cost overrun is due to land damage. The 142.3-kilometer HSR was built by the SPV, PT Kereta Cepat Indonesia China, PTKCIC, a joint venture between an Indonesian consortium of 4 state-owned companies and China Railway. Number 3. Cayan Cascade Hydropower Plant and Energy Transformation, $17.8 billion. In October 2022, Sumitomo Corp signed an agreement with Indonesian power company Cayan Hydro Energy, KHE, to participate in the development of a 9-gigawatt hydroelectric complex in Borneo. KHE is affiliated with Power China, which will undertake the main construction work of the hydropower project named Cayan Cascade. Sumitomo will help develop the project through investment and technology transfer. Under the MOU signed between Power China and KHE in 2018, Power China will provide $17 billion to finance the Cayan Cascade. The Cayan hydropower plant utilizes the area along the Cayan River and consists of 5 dams with 5 to 6 units of generating turbines per dam. The first stage of the Cayan hydropower plant has a capacity of 900 megawatts. The second stage is 1,200 megawatts. The third and fourth stages are 1,800 megawatts each. And the fifth stage is 3,300 megawatts, with to finish the construction of 5 dams by 2035. Once completed, the project is expected to become the largest hydroelectric station in Southeast Asia. The hydropower complex will mainly supply electricity to Indonesia's Strategis Industry, a green industrial park to be built in North Kalimantan. The industrial park would include a range of green businesses, including green ammonia, battery materials, and electric vehicles. Most participants in the ISI will be Chinese-Indonesian joint ventures, with the possible inclusion of some Japanese manufacturers. The Cayan Cascade is a strategic project and will be supported by the government, according to Muldoko, Indonesia's presidential chief of staff. At present, Indonesia meets 65% of its energy demand with coal. The country has vowed to double the share of renewables in its energy mix from less than 12% to 23% by 2025 in a move to achieve its commitment to net zero emissions by 2060s. Number 4. Jakarta-Surabaya high-speed train, the next long-term plan. In November 2022, the Transport Minister stated that with the Jakarta-Bandung HSR scheduled to be completed in 2023, there are studies being conducted by the Indonesian government for the construction of the Jakarta-Surabaya HSR next, as part of a long-term and gradual plan. The Jakarta-Surabaya high-speed train is projected to take the route Jakarta, Karawang, Bandung, Kertajati, Purwokerto, Yogyakarta, Solo, Madiun, Surabaya. The train is expected to cut the Jakarta to Surabaya trip to just 4 hours. In addition to the southern high-speed train, the government is planning a semi-fast train from Surabaya to the north. Jakarta has also plans for MRT and LRT as a means of urban mass transportation to be built in other cities such as Surabaya, Bandung, Medan, Makassar, Semarang, and Bali. This follows on from prior agreements on Indonesian rail with Japan and China. In 2019, Indonesia and Japan signed a deal on the outline of the 700-kilometer, 435-mile Jakarta-Surabaya medium-speed rail project after 2 years of negotiations, with an initial investment of 60 trillion rupiah, $4.3 billion. This project is expected to shorten the Jakarta-Surabaya train trip to 5 hours and 30 minutes, from more than 10 hours currently. Construction is scheduled to start in 2022 and finish in 2025. The Indonesia government, however, wants the HSR to Surabaya to pass through the south side of the island, as it believes that an extension will make the project more economically viable. Indonesia's Minister for Investment informed Beijing that it could build the HSR extension during a 2021 meeting with Wang Yi. Number 5. Trans-Sumatra Toll Road, $33.2 billion. Sumatra is the second largest island with a population over 55 million. It plays an important role in Indonesia's overall economy, circa 20% of GDP, and led by numerous commodities. Thus, logistics are vital to the region's economic growth. As a result, in 2014, amended 2015, the government mandated Hutma Karya to build and develop the Trans-Sumatra Toll Road, which will connect Lampung and Aceh through 24 different roads with a total length of 2,704 kilometers. Theoretically, by 2024, the toll's entire length of 2,818 kilometers will cost an estimated $33.2 billion and consist of 17 main segments and 7 supporting segments. The toll road is expected to be completed by 2024. As of October 2022, 1,074 kilometers, 667 miles of the road were completed and operational. In November 2020, the CEO of Hutma Karya, which is in charge of most of the Trans-Sumatra toll road sections, announced there were issues which might delay its scheduled completion. The company has built 629 kilometers of the Trans-Sumatra toll road as of October, with 513 kilometers are already in operation. The CEO said the company was currently building an additional 614 kilometers of toll road within the project, which is scheduled to be completed by 2022. We are optimistic that we can finish construction by 2022. However, we still need to acquire land in several areas. In December 2022, Hutma Karya announced that it is targeting to complete 6 segments of Trans-Sumatra Toll Road, JTTS, in 2023, Kuala Tanjung, Indrapura, Section 2, Tebing Tinggi, Serbalawan, Section 3, Serbalawan, Siantar, Section 4, and Tebing Tinggi Y Junction. Number 6. Trans-Java Toll Road. The Trans-Java Toll Road is a tolled expressway network that runs from Port of Merak in Cilegon, the main link between the island of Sumatra and Java, to Banyuwangi, the eastern end of the island in Indonesia. It is the main link between the island of Java and Bali. The toll 1,167 kilometers road and is the most important toll road network in the country. The road is also designed to form part of the International Asian Highway 2 project, which aims to connect 14,000 kilometers of highways across 32 Asian and European countries, from Denpasar to Iran. This project has been discussed for decades, got started last century, but was adversely affected by the 1997 Asian crisis. It was provided new life under President Widodo's leadership. At the beginning of 2017, President Widodo and the government committed to full completion of the road by the end of 2019. At the time, the government estimated 50% of the road was completed with 516 kilometers in operation. PT Waskita Karya, Indonesian Construction, was engaged to sell several sections of the toll road to fund other toll road projects. In early 2019, the road was officially declared open. Though many sections had already been open and operating, connecting existing roadways, the government claimed the road was now connecting Indonesia's two biggest cities, Jakarta in the west and Surabaya in the east. Several issues still remained, including blockages. In October 2019, Waskita Toll Road, a subsidiary of state-controlled construction firm Waskita Karya, has agreed to sell its interest in two sections of the Trans-Java Toll Road to Road King Infrastructure, a listed real estate company in Hong Kong, for a combined value of $153 million. Thank you for watching. Do you think these projects to contribute to the economic growth of the country? Let us know in the comments below.